going to share with you the potential of what is a very unique opportunity. Every once in a while in the past, when I would be behind things due to bad health and that, I'd take one of my major works and let one of my upper end collectors buy it for like one that should be 38,000, whatever I needed. I remember one time I sold one for 9,500, and that's just the amount that I required. And I thought that it might be a good idea to let a number of you who purchased my work in the past that in lower price ranges or moderately priced ranges would also have that same opportunity. So I came up with this idea of having a sale where instead of selling one large one, to have all my work on sale where you could take any individual piece, and it could be as small as a 12 by 16. It would be $1,200, and it would cost you $400. And I showed one collector who has a nice collection of my work, and he bought 3 paintings, and he ended up getting an absolutely beautiful 30 by 48 free when he added up the cost to the other two and took a third off the total. And so I decided one way of showing you is to just help you realize what the different values are by having you look at my home page, and then I will go over the paintings and the prices. I've decided that I want to go to Holy Land and do some paintings. Been very much into the Bible, more so now than ever, with daily reading in the morning and that. And when we went around the world, we had problems getting across the border, so we never quite made it in there. We were in Jordan and down by the Red Sea, Dead Sea, and what have you, and the borders of Saudi Arabia and Israel and Palestine. But back then we had difficulties getting across. Now, to give you a bit of an idea, this painting here, I really like as a work of art, and I like the freshness of it. And I did this on location in Saint-Tropez, or on the road to Saint-Tropez. And the colors are fresh and lively. Now, this particular painting I have at $3,000. Well, with what I call my Holy Land sale, that painting would run you $1,000. When I wanted to go into landscape painting, I bought another home in the White Mountains in New Hampshire. And a number of these paintings I had in my own collection because they were historically important in my development. And it shows how professional painters will evolve. This is handled with very realistic color and not quite as much freedom of expression, but it's handled very competently. And it was done on location. In fact, I believe I had to push the snow off the table. Well, one of the times I was painting there. I was very fond of the Swift River, which flows down by the Kangamangas Highway. Now, this painting here is $3,000. It's an 18 by 24, and it could be yours for $1,000. I like poetry. This is one of Robin Jefferson's, which I did in the Hawk Tower, but that's sold. Next one is a beautiful study, or painting that I did in the Polynesian Islands. I really love the Polynesian Islands. What was unique about it were the people there. And this is a 30 by 36. That should be 8,900. And the 30 by 36s that are 8,900 are 2,967. A very substantial saving. Like, some people could really have a great collection if they took avail of this. Now this is one of my paintings that goes back to my earlier paintings at Point Lobos, and I had it in my own collection, the Pinnacles. I have this one at 16 by 20 at 2,500, and the paintings that are 2,500. Not sure I figured that out. Well, it's 800 and something. Now, recently I had some damage done in my home by vandalism, and I had a 16 by 20 that I valued at roughly $2,000. I had a professional fine arts appraiser in, and she gave it a truer value of $4,000. But that was her business, appraising fine art. This one is sold, I believe, at Positano Morn along the Amalfi Coast. I was commissioned to do a 4 by 5 foot painting of this area, and that was a study for it. I love painting from my hotel rooms, and I'm in Paris and I'm looking across at the Musée d'Orsay, where they have that wonderful Impressionist collection. Now this one here is 20 by 24. We started there looking over the Tuileries. And I've been behind the clock that you see up there in the museum. And this will run you $1,000. It's a very lovely painting of Paris. This is a 20 by 24, it's 2,600. And the paintings that are 2,600 are $867. And it was actually started at on a beach called Paradise Island, or an island that's in the Bahamas. I sailed to the Bahamas professionally, and I returned a number of times to paint there. This is one of my favorites. Jimmy Buffett may live right across the street from here. It was along Palm Beach South, the boulevard going down there. And it was started on location there. And this one too is 3,000, and it's on. You will have that at 1,000. I like the freshness of it and the accuracy. As the color of the water and the general feeling of the piece. Actually, it was in my mother's collection. And she used to live in West Palm Beach, and I'd take her for drives along the ocean. And this was in her collection too, Deep Ocean. Mother sailed for many years. I took care of Mother until she passed away at 99 as primary caregiver. This is a 20 by 24, that's 2,000. And the is $667. This beautiful piece of Vernal Falls was one of the ones that my collector friend took avail of it on his sale. It was one of the pieces he purchased. And this large, beautiful piece, all is now in his collection too. It was an earlier painting, so I had it at $12,000, and he actually he received it free by the time if you just paid the regular price for the others. So it's like he saved $12,000 on his sale. I had quite a few adventures going up here painting in the south of France, and that's Mount Saint Victoire outside of Provence. And I loved exploring that area, and I'm very fond of Provence. Now this one is 3,500, and that will be under 1,250. I also enjoy exploring contemporary work, and these are pieces in my palette where I like the positive and negative shapes within each they're like little miniature paintings, and then they were arranged for a sense of balance. It's a homage to Mondrian. And again, this is 2,600 and 18 by 24s. At 2,600, it would be 867. There's sand in between the pieces too for separation. This was started in Marietta Square, 30 by 36, and I sell this size for 8,900. And the ones that are 8,900 are 2,967. Letters Never Sent was one of my very, very early abstractions. I loved color and I loved abstractions earlier. And I still do and enjoy working with them. Now that's $2,000, but your price will be $667. And this was started at Lago Lagarda. I love the lake areas in northern Italy, and I've done an extensive amount of work there. Now this is a 22 by 28. It's was 3,800, but for our Holy Land sale, the 22 by 28, that will be, let's see here, at $1,267. I received a couple commissions, a commission to do this gate, and I did it in different ways. And this painting here, I decided to put Christ in. It's now Heaven's Gate. It's not quite done yet. And the Christ from Heart of Divine Mercy is in the doorway. Auberge-l'Île, which is in Strasbourg, is another beautiful area. And this is a 24 by 30. This is at the famous restaurant, it's a 5-star restaurant or something or another. They have 5 stars. They deserve it. And that's $4,000, but on this particular sale, that will run you $1,334. Manet Bridge at 3,800. That's a 22 by 28. And that will run you $1,267. Rich in texture and color. This is one of my favorite paintings. I love the Carmelite Monastery. It's just a beautiful place of meditation. Again, this is $3,000. It's an 18 by 24. A lovely piece. And that's $1,000. That's a real steal for someone. Winston Churchill used to like to go to Aix-en-Provence and paint, and whenever he'd go there, we'd go to this bridge, which is along a hiking area. I called it Churchill's Bridge. It's a 20 by 24, but I have this at 2,600, and the paintings again that are 2,600. They'll be 867. I also experiment with different formats, like this is a diamond format. I've done a number of paintings like that, and it has a very unique presence in the wall. It's Carmel Beach. will occupy a larger space on the wall than a regular painting that size, and that's 2400, and that painting is 800. And this was done in the south of France at Cap Ferrat. It's a 24 by 30, and that's 4,000, so that will run you $1,334. That's another area I'm very fond of. Now, this is a very loose painting, but it's one that I just like the freshness of it. It started behind the church, which was called St. Joseph, and it was in Bora Bora, and there was a little stream coming down from the mountains, and it had lily pads in it and that. This is a dynamic painting that I call Thunder Surf. It's a 24 by 36, and the 24 by 36s, instead of it costing you $4,900, you could have this large 2 by 3 foot painting framed for $1,634. It's a very striking painting. This was started on a trip around the world in Bali, and that's a 24 by 30. And the 24 by 30s are 4,000, and that's $1,334. Another painting done of the farm fields in Bali. It's 20 by 24 at 2,000, and that would cost you $667. This just gives you a general idea of what a third off is. Now, this beautiful piece here, Afterglow at Boardman's Bridge, was another one that my collector friend took a veil, was another one that he purchased. And once again, the 220 by 24s, if he paid full prices for them, he would have had the 30 by 48 free. I like this one down. It was along the Nile, with the pyramids in the background. We rode camels out there on our trip around the world and climbed a small pyramid and went inside others. It was a great trip, my two sons and I. Now this is 12 by 16, it's 1,200. So this one of Egypt and the pyramids would run you 400. So if you've ever been to Egypt, that'd be a neat remembrance. And I love this one here. This is in Hawaii. And there was actually a heart in the sky, and I love hearts. Like the Gospel of St. John is my favorite, and I love to. My mission statement is to place emphasis on Christ's commands of love. And again, this painting here at 20 by 24 should be $2,800, and it's $934, and that's along the north shore of Oahu. This beautiful one of Giverny is an 18 by 24, but that one is sold. I love moonlight scenes. I could go into Manet's pond and garden area and stay as long as I wanted. I'd sit on the bench where Manet sat. I was good friends with Gilbert Veil, who restored the gardens, and I'd dine with him. And he'd come out and look at my work and say, "Treasure Lee." This beautiful piece, Thank Gisborne by the Sea, I enjoyed in my home collection for quite a while, and it's $15,000. It was featured in the magazine Artists of the Rockies and Golden West when they did a story on my work and life. And now it would cost you $5,000 for this 30 by 40 framed instead of $15,000. Some of you paid close to that for the 24 by 30s you may have in your collection. America's Strength is a dynamic piece along the coastline of Monhegan, which is an area I was very fond of. And I'd go it's an island 9 miles out in the Atlantic, and I'd go out there. I sailed to it earlier when I was a professional sailor, and I returned to paint it. One of my favorite places in that area. Whoop-de-doo. I gotta get back to where I am. What this will do will show you, this is me painting Monet's boat, and you click on here, and the area that I'm showing you is the first one up there, Impressionist Landscapes and Seascapes. And that will tell you, that's the one I'm doing a video of now. Now we'll catch up to where we are. The music in the background is an instrumental that I wrote called Light of God's Love, and I put words to it. I created a beautiful painting by that title, and I sent it to the United Nations as a prayer for peace. While working on that, I thought that I was having a TIA attack, one of the mini strokes. In reality, I was flooded with endorphins from meditating. Found out later what happened. I had a Hindu instructor, meditation instructor, giving a class in my home, and he loved the peaceful ambience of the place. And he just collected over my work too. We can actually get a chance to review some of these. So I want to raise enough money to take my son and I, Jonathan, to the Holy Land and some other areas in Europe that I'd like to include on that pilgrimage, and places I've not been that I want to go. I'm an adopted member of an Azorian family, so if I want to, I have a place to stay in the Azores, and I think I'd really enjoy that. You've never had a Azorian dew. This is homemade white lightning. Boy, it's good stuff. Okay, this is where we now this next piece is an absolute delight. It just has so much luminosity to it, and it's a large piece too. It's 30 by 48, and it should be, or actually it's 36 by 48, and and it's normally 1,000 rather, and it would be a third of that, and which is $5,335. It's a 36 by 48. I think I'm going to close this off right now and count the long enough. It gives you a good idea, and I'll have hopefully get around to putting the correct Holy Land sale prices on my homepage later. And may you enjoy perusing this. And if you feel like taking avail of some of the pieces, do so.